Hi guys, welcome to Jane Talks. I'm sitting outside on my deck and it's kind of windy. I hope it doesn't affect the quality of what you hear. Like get any wind noise in the microphone or anything like that. Anyway, I hope everybody, all the mothers out there, had a very happy Mother's Day this past weekend. I had a really nice Mother's Day. My kids were very sweet to me. I went out for a ride on my bike and I came back and the house was cleaned and the dishes were all washed in the kitchen and my son brought me flowers and it was very nice. And then they made supper for me too, so it was really, really nice. Anyway, I've been thinking about the book that I'm reading currently. I think it's called Fierce Women, and I thought it was really neat. It's not what I expected at all for as far as the book goes, but I think it has a lot of really, really nice thoughts in it. As far as I think a lot of us, and me included, I know that I went through a phase in my healing process, I guess I would call it, where the fierce that I was not good. And by that I mean I kind of felt like nobody was going to tell me what to do. I'm going to take care of myself. I don't need anybody. And, kiss this kind of deal. And I feel like that was probably normal considering what I went through and how far down I was. And I think to fight your way back is great, but I can see how I know that in Jim and I in our truth talks we have mentioned about Jim has said that a man's home is his castle and a woman's home is her nest, and I feel like all of this ties together in my mind, and I'll see if I can explain it. Sometimes I have so many thoughts going on around in my mind. I feel like they just chase each other and I can't put it all together and get it out fast enough, and it doesn't come out right. Anyway, I'll try. So I feel like another thing that Jim has said is that nothing is as fragile as a man's ego, and that's kind of what this book said as well. And that doesn't necessarily mean in a bad way, but almost what this book brought out was kind of explaining better the differences between male and female, and how as women we are more emotional and we connect more with loving people and caring about people and supporting people, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing weak or second class about that, and I know that there are some women that would probably disagree with me, and that's fine. We're all entitled to our own opinions and thoughts. Mine, the book clarifies that in no way should a woman be expected to continue on in an abusive relationship. Nobody should, male or female. Like, there's women that are abusive too, and abuse is not okay under any circumstances. And I think that one thing that really appealed to me was the description in the book of being a fierce woman does not mean, selfishly having it your way and wanting somebody to cater to you and you're in control and it's my way or the highway, or suck it up, buttercup. And that's not what it means. They described and used the terminology a soft warrior, and I thought that was really nice. I guess I liked the description, and I liked it and connected with it because I feel like you don't always have to yell and scream or cry and make a scene and kick and stomp to get your point across. And I think we often forget that. We often forget that you lead by example, and by knowing who you are and where you come from and where you want to go to, and knowing who you want to be, and just sticking to that, and doing what you can to promote that in yourself is half the battle. And I feel like all of us, whether you're male, female, whatever, if we would just remember that, I feel like things would be so different. Like our society would be so different in general. And I guess that kind of excites me in the fact of wanting to help, wanting to give back, wanting to stand up and show that there's hope, there's more. You don't have to be if you're not happy with your life, you don't have to be satisfied with it. You can go and do something else. And I think for me anyway, and I know that I'm not the only one that was like that. Figuring out what you want in life sometimes leads you down a different path than you ever thought. And there's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes it's scary. And sometimes we find out that it's not what we want after all. And we backtrack or go a different direction. And there's nothing wrong with that either. That's just part of life. And it's a good part of life. Growing and learning and trying new things. That's what makes life worth living. And I think if we get stuck in a rut of just accepting life and not liking it, I think that's a shame, because life truly is a beautiful thing. There is always something beautiful around us, something that we can connect with and something that can make us happy. And I think sometimes we have to look harder than other times, and that's okay too. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week, and it's supposed to be a beautiful week. So I'm looking forward to getting some riding in and having a great week as well. Talk to you next week.